No limits to. I do this a lot. I'm gonna just build a roller coaster from scratch. Do a coaster. Okay. Yeah, we'll just call it that. Sure. Why not? Terrain. I'm not gonna worry about terrain. I'm just gonna make this like. Actually, I'll generate a little terrain. Max height. Sure, why not? And then, oh gosh, we're on the ground. By the way, no limits has this weird thing where if you go underground and you go under the water, or like under the ground at least, it just copies everything. I don't know why it does this, but it's so funny. Anyway, let's look for a good spot to build. Yeah, probably around here. I'll just flatten this out a little bit. So, select all this. Dust in my room. Oh, sorry, microphone. Then I'll just bring this down. I'm not gonna do the outside just to even it out, because that looks really ugly. Looks like a crater. Smooth that out. Okay, it looks nicer. I can kind of set a terrain here. Just gonna look for something just so I have a little bit of inspiration for what I'm doing. I'll cut this out.
One of the world's fastest single rail coasters. The trains have rolled.
Yeah, I can work with that. Alright, let's do this. Alright. New coaster. We're gonna call this Tube Boy. Why not? I don't think a regular name's when I make this stuff. Style. We're gonna go. Where is it here? Did I not have it? Look through all these. Which, by the way, this is a lot of coasters to go through. Hmm. Thought they had it. Well, change plans. We're gonna make it a Vekoma. So for that, we just get to be insane. Where did I say I was gonna build? Well, that's really far away. Whatever. I'll suffer the consequences. I'll just add another vertex. So we're gonna select that all. We're gonna rise it up a little bit just so it's not so close to the ground. That works. Yeah, okay. I'm actually gonna reverse this so it's the other way around. Actually, wait, let me do this real quick. If we make both of these vertices strict, then that can make this a lot easier. There we go. Now I can put in our station. Boom. We'll make an extra room for breaks. But anyway. Now, why would you do that? Alright, let's maybe... Okay, I'm just gonna save myself some time here. And we're gonna turn this. We're gonna make these two strict as well, just so I can straighten this out. And then we're gonna delete this, so we can really work on this vertex. Okay, that looks decent. Let's adjust this. Okay, that's good, yeah. That's alright. Alright. So if we see, is it from front angle? It is. Alright. So we'll make this slight... Oh, wait, we can't. Let's do it from... Okay, then. Well, that's just gonna be like that, I guess. Add type separator. We're just gonna make this, I guess, transport. Make it 6, 5, actually. Alright. And then we're going to start on the lift hill. Let's make this vertex strict as well. Let's make it tighter than that because that's really wide. And then we'll stretch it out to, let's go like 100 feet. Then I'll make this strict as well. Seems about right, and then we'll make it flat. Well, not flat, but we'll like... And I will say, I have not seen many of these modern style Bacomas that with drops that look like this. It's like the drop not that steep. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Okay, let's do that. And then... Okay, that works. Straighten that out, and then let's see how that looks on the track. Alright. I can get some... I have an idea. Put a style separator right here. Okay, get some tunnel action. Style settings, tunnel, round, boom. And also, let's just quickly get this lift hill because right now we have a liftless track. Lift. Then we'll make this 6 miles an hour. Oh, I forgot. And then don't put this at 5.5. Alright, let's just, okay. Supports, choose free frap. I'm not going to go with anything specific. I'm just going to go with, let's go with track default single. Because I don't give a crap about supports that much. As long as it doesn't look terrible, I'm in for it. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen... Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, there is. That's fine. No worries. Then we'll go back to single on the bottom here. And then we'll start this actually a little bit later just so we can have that right there. Okay, anyway. Freeze. Sorry. What? Thank you. I have returned. Parents exist. Okay, I'm gonna quickly color this because this looks terrifying. Alright, so let's just go. I'm just gonna color this now so I don't have to deal with it later. Cross ties. What color do I want this to be? I have an idea. Let's make this like a really nice bluish color. Well, maybe not blue because we already have the other one. Let's do orange then. Like an orangey gold. Ooh, that's nice. Make it more orange. That looks brown. Okay. How does that look on the track? Let's just see. Okay, not bad. I'll give it to myself and then we'll just make these a little lighter than the regular track. Supports, we'll make these dark, like really dark, like really, really dark. Catwalk, I'll just make that gray, like a light gray. Handrail, a little bit darker. Tunnel, doesn't matter because it doesn't change it. Oh, that reminds me actually, I need to put a railing on this. Alright, and then we'll freeze it again. Freezing, by the way, means it locks it into place and actually it makes a track. Takes a little bit. Alright, our check doesn't. Oh, that does not look bad. I'm gonna make this the rails a little dark. I didn't need to unfreeze it for that. But I'm gonna make the sides here, the things on the side, a little bit darker. Colors. Make this like. Then I'll leave that there. How does that look? How does that look for us? That'll do. Anyway. And then the supports, that looks nice. Okay. And we're going to do on the car. This shouldn't take too long because I already done one of these. These are very nice restraints, by the way. I haven't had them on this specific train model. I've had them on the SLC that have like the new trains, but yeah. Coaster car, I'm going to make this like a nice deep greenish color like right here. Harness, I don't know what color that is, so we'll do that. Chassis, that's like the bottom of the car. I think I'm just gonna make that dark. The wheel's not gonna change that. Bogey, I'm gonna make that like that. Just like I'll just keep it like really light. Actually, no, darker. And then the seat, I'll make it like as dark as it can go. See how that looks. That's thinking about it a while. Oh, okay, so that's what the restraint is. Okay, so we'll just make that. We'll just make that white then, like pure white. Alright, that looks good. We'll worry about the other translator. I wonder what the accent looks like. Oh, that's the accent. Oh, we'll just keep it like that because that looks really nice. And then if we go into testing mode, I'm actually going to do something real quick. I'm going to make this a little bit further down. But so going into testing, usually just if you have a complete track, it'll do the automatic thing. You don't need to worry about how it goes. I'm going to fix this drop because I want it to be more steep. But anyhow, so if we go File, Leave Editor, Save Changes, and hit Play. I'm going to pause that by doing Control P. If you're on Mac, it's Command P, I think. Where is our coaster? It's over here. Okay, I need to do the setting towards walk view closest ride. Because I don't want to fly like this the entire time. And we're going to crash. Ah! Anyway. So now if we just walk up these stairs. This looks really nice. Walk up the stairs. Oh, panels on the other side. So we're going to unpause. We're going to go to this panel that was before. And we're not going to do a manual walk. We're going to do full manual. We're going to do full manual. We're going to try to stop on top. Gonna make this lift a little bit slower. Definitely gonna make this lift a bit slower. I'm gonna make this 5. So we're gonna set this to, oh, it's already at 5. And we're gonna make this drop steeper, so it kind of looks like an RMC drop if you know, like Goliath or Steel Vengeance, like that. And we're gonna make it more like apparent at the top. So if we do it like this, I'm just gonna quickly go here. Elements, deep up vertices. That should make it look nicer. There we go. That looks amazing. Then deep up this. Don't do that. Okay. I'm gonna add an extra in vertice, because you can do this thing where you insert a vertice. So you don't change the whole thing, but you just add another one. So you can do, there we go, stuff like that. Alright, this is actually looking really nice now. We have to change the restraint, not the restraints, the supports, because that looks kind of weird. So put the support right there, then put this one like, alright, this is weird, but whatever. If I do park initial view, walk view, set initial position. Oh, I'm gonna set it right here. Alright, so now if I don't freeze it, if I just go here. Oh, I did not know I could do that until now. Thank you for making me make this video. Nobody asked, I just wanted to do it. Anyhow. So, alright, that's nice. Alright, now let's actually work on the design. So I already have a layout kind of in mind for this, so we're just going to basically work on that. Don't do that. It sometimes does that where it just snaps it to the middle vertex. Don't do that, please. I want it to be right here. Stop doing that. I'm gonna have to go in the track. Let me just go up ahead so I can scale this properly. And then we have a little hill here. Yep. And then we'll just, oop, jeez, that's not what I want to do. Little hill here. Then we'll make it go up into kind of, not necessarily a top hat, but we're going to make it like go up and turn. So we're just going to let's make that, and then we'll just switch it around because it just kind of does that. So if we do right view or left view, it should take us into this. So we're looking at it from the back side. So we're gonna make it look like that, I guess. Here, let's change up here quickly before I do that. Add roll. Let's just put zeros all over. So the basic thing, it'll put the vertex as 0, and if you want it to be only 0 with no like bending, naturally strict. And then we'll just put more zeros down this drop. Go under the ground, put them in the tunnel so that the tunnel doesn't do any weird twistiness. And then for this, we'll start turning it. We'll do plus 45. And to make it look nicer, we'll add a little bit of heart line. Okay, that looks really weird. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll make this very tippy top, not 0. Let's make that 100. Let's put on strict just so we can, like, basically decide it for ourselves. And then here we'll put it at 70. Actually, no, we'll put it at like there. That works. So that kind of looks good, and we'll make it kind of like a little bit like Siren's Curse, where it kind of like goes up and then down, over and over. And then here we'll make another like little drop. I wonder if this probably is gonna go through this too fast, so I might have to scale it up in a bit. But for now, this looks pretty good. And then for this, we'll make it steeper than the last thing, so we'll make it a solid 75 or 74, and then 0 it down the drop. So you kind of get that like that whippy effect, like you would on a single rail. And these vertices are kind of too close together. But that's okay, I can just spread them out like this, because I don't like having a bunch of vertices, like a bunch of small vertices trapped together in a single spot, because it kind of makes it really hard to scale and to work with. And plus, I think my rides come out smoother with them spread out. So let's just debump all that, make it look decenter, and then we'll bring this up. I'll bring this up too. I'll bring this up a little bit just so I can put this down and steeper, and then we'll fix it like that. Okay, we'll just leave it like that for now. Unfinished product. Worry about the supports later, because it's just a prototype. Let's just see how this goes through without using the actual freezingness, because it'll still run like this. Oh, I forgot to reset. Wait, reset. Manual. Full manual. Up, which if you want to speed that up on the very right of your keyboard, you press the plus button on the very right of your keyboard to speed things up in this game. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's way too fast. I need to spread this out a bit. So it's actually gonna be fairly easy to do that. We just need to take this all, raise it up a notch. That looks good. Well, I mean, it looks weird, but... And then we'll just move outwards. Where am I? There I am. We'll move this all outwards. We're basically going to be like a restructure almost. But we don't want it to look too different from what we had it, because otherwise, you know, that'll just be annoying to fix. Alright, and then we'll just... Okay, actually, I'm not going to split that. I'm just going to leave it. And actually, I am going to freeze this just so I can watch it. Now, if you don't want to keep doing what I'm doing and, like, going into the thing and doing the full manual, you can just do a very simple trick. You go to this, you go to the very end of the track. This looks really weird, but I can actually have a chance to make it look what I want it to do. Alright, anyway. But besides that point... now, if you want to do this, just go type selector, put 2 here at the very end of the track, and then just put a break. And that will act as, you know, like a block break, so that it can actually go through the rest of the track, and you don't have to worry about it, like, stopping on the lift hill. Now, this will cause a message on your screen to be like, you know, crash, the coaster crashed, and then whatever. Just keep doing the roller coaster, and it'll work. It's fine. But anyhow, alright, let's see how this works. I'm not worried about that drop for now. I'm just worried about how this element will work out. So we'll freeze it, and then we'll go from there. like it. It's very bad. Well, it's not bad. It's just not very smooth. So I need to fix that. Basically, mainly just need to fix this hill. So let's just make this hill a little bit more pronounced, or not this hill, but this dip. And then we'll make this like go higher, make that go higher, and then we'll just smooth it out. And then for this bit, oh geez, we need to insert some more vertices into here. And we need to put this bank way up higher. And then for this, we're going to do a trick where we basically tilt it to one side and then have it switch to the other. So it looks like way more smooth. There we go. Looks decent. This does not look very smooth. Let's just grab that, debump it. Make it look good. And then, yeah, this bit's really slow, so we're going to speed it up by just grabbing the whole thing and putting it way lower. Put like right there so we have more time. And then we'll make it less steep, like maybe like that. Yeah, because then you have that, and then, oh, that looks awesome. And then you go through another tunnel at the bottom here. I think our main theme right here is tunnels. So let's just get out the way real quick, and let's just debump. That should look a lot nicer. If we go into track view, we can go along it. Go up the hill and then down. Ah! And then anyway, there's that hill. It looks, what is going on here? Maybe I need to strict this. Yeah, there we go. That was the problem. So we strict it. I'm going to do like a little RMC thing where they kind of like do the hill uncentered, if you know what I mean. So kind of like you turn as you're going through it. Yeah, that's alright. That's the 0. We don't need to worry about that. We'll make this -20, and then we'll make this one not -20. I'll make this like, there we go. That works. Maybe strict that. Okay, from there I need to switch. Yep, like that. That works. And then we'll strict in this. And then we'll heart line it more so it kind of, you get more whip to it. And then we'll debump it. It looks okay. Maybe do it like up here so it's like, yeah, that's way nicer. And then you have this. And then we need to 0 it. 0, 0. Alright, that works. Gonna make this drop a little bit larger because that's really steep. That's gonna cause many people to be uncomfortable on the ride, you can imagine. I think that's better, and then we'll just make this out further. And then smooth it all. Alright, now let's just freeze it and let's try it out to see how it goes. I've been filming for 32 minutes now, and I've only got this done. This is why this takes me hours to do, because I'm very particular. that drop needs to be definitely bigger because 4Gs on a drop is a lot. But I do like the positives, or not the positives. I like the negatives. I like that hill that has some good forces to it, so we can just not worry about this part. Now we can let's first of all get this piece out of the ground, because don't want to be there. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna do an inversion here, maybe like a stall, or an outer. No, I almost said outer bank. That's not an inversion. That's a hill. Alright, so let's smooth it. Actually, I'll make it straight 2D, so that makes it not crooked. Let's run through to the end, so I can get this out of the way. How fun is this ride? I think I want this to be more sudden, so we'll keep it at 0. And then it's like a really whippy thing. Yeah, that's nice. And then let's make this actually more. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so amazing. Oh my gosh. All right, that's great. And let's just grab all these vertices and smooth them out. I also like making it, when I'm doing this, I make adjustments midway if I think something's not as good as I want it to be. So I'll make it better. Oh, geez, that's really, oof. Let's widen that out a bit. Oh, yeah, that's, oof, my goodness. And then I think we're going to do a stall. That seems reasonable enough to do. So let's make it really long. Okay, maybe not that long, but you know what I mean. That's reasonable. And then at the end here, we'll make it come out above the ground. We don't want to go underground again, because that's just going to kill the ride. And then let's work on actually inverting this. So let's do... Okay, I need to straighten this out, because this is not straightened at all. There, that works. Make sure that doesn't look too awkward from the thing. Nope, it doesn't. And then here we can do the roll. So we'll do 0 here, and then as soon as it comes out of this tunnel, so we'll put the style here, and then the style there. Make this a tunnel, round concrete. So you go through here and then out the tunnel, and then add roll. We're gonna make this 180 degrees Fahrenheit strict. So let's get out of the ground here so I can look at this. Oh, geez, that's really close to the ground. Let's make that go higher in that case. Oh, we are in fact not out of the ground. You know what? We'll just dig out. So we'll put it there, and then it'll end here. And then we'll 0 it out here. I'll add heartline to this. You just have to give me a moment. And then we'll put it outwards like this. And this needs to be way longer if we're going to get out of this smoothly, because that's really tight. Alright, and then we'll make it. And to just add more to the heartline here so that actually gets out in the way we want it to look, we'll do this straighten like that. So let's take a look at this. Oh, dear me. Okay, maybe not there. Okay, maybe it looks like that will be nice. And then, yeah, that looks good. And then, yeah, we'll just zero this, but we'll dig out of the ground here. So, just set the markers, like, general area of the track. And then modify height until we get to the bottom. Oh, there's water. Hello, water. And then we'll select all around it. We'll make it wider for some areas if we want it to be wider, spread out. Some areas not. Like that, and then we just smooth it. That looks decent. This looks really weird, but there, make it look more randomized. There we go. That works. There we go. That looks pretty good. That does not. Let me fix that. Crap, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Alright, that actually doesn't look bad. I'm really happy with this. Let me make it more to this way. Just so we can have more opportunity for Heartline. Because if you don't know what Heartline is, basically when you take the track and you, like, move it out to one side so the cart doesn't, like, get whipped around all the way. And it looks really nice. Feels really nice when you're going through it. And we'll just debump this entire area just so any mistakes I've made get filtered out. And let's actually not make this completely zero, but let's have it on a turn like that. But then we'll have it, yeah, we'll have this like way earlier. Probably like that. I keep forgetting how much speed is going to be going through here. That's going to affect this. Alright, let's just go through this. Let's see how that works. Now, I will say, I'm not listening to any podcasts or music. I usually would be if I was doing something like this. I didn't mean to do that. But I usually would be if I was doing something like this, just so I can pass the time and think more. Which, by the way, chaotic music, great for doing things that are not chaotic. I just realized I didn't put it back on the end, so I'm going to have to do full manual for this. Full manual. Goodness, that is terrible. I need to fix that pronto. So what we just dug out of the ground is most likely going to have to be redone entirely. We have to put this way up higher, because that was not really a stall. Who knows? Maybe we'll just take this bit that we carved out of the ground there, and we'll turn that into a separate section for when we're later in the ride. I think that's what I'm gonna do, just because I made a mistake there. If you make mistakes, don't look at it as a mistake. Look at it as an opportunity to improvise. Because improvising makes everything better. Trust. Also, let's make this more flat. This looks like a giant upside down hill. That looks disgusting. Oh, okay, this looks less disgusting. And then we'll move this out. Move that out. Also, make sure that you don't forget the scale of what you're building. Because if you do that, you can make really small things. So because it's going to do the perspective here. Like, that's what mode I'm using right now is the perspective, so I can, like, go in and out of everything. Okay, I think that looks better. I'm going to have to dig out a section here. And then we'll just... Not that. I don't want to move the sports. I want to just move this. Move that out. Alright, that looks kind of gross, but we'll work with it. Then we have to redo this. Modify height. Put that all the way down. Oh, geez. Oh, gosh. Like sinking into the abyss. That's not good. Alright, let's just quickly, generally, just fix this area. Because that was not a good play on my part. Alright, so we're going to have to... Okay, we're going to have to put a little tunnel in here. Unless we want to make this tighter. But tunnels are always good. So let's just put like a little tunnel here. Tunnel. Steel. What does a steel tunnel look like? I just want to freeze this so I can see what that looks like. Because I've never used this function. At least I don't think I have. What does a steel tunnel look like? Okay, I see what it means. Let me just go into color, tunnel, black. Well, not necessarily all the way black, but just really dark. Because that does not look nice. Alright, and we'll put this further down. Put this end further down, because we don't want it to be a huge tunnel. Okay, that looks nice. I'm going to have to put this down a little bit more over here. Just so it matches with the tunnel. Okay, that looks actually really not bad. I said earlier that I thought it looked kind of gross. I take it back. This actually looks really nice. And we're going to make this section deeper. We're going to make it like... Okay, I did not do that all the way. There. Let's actually like properly do this. Put it down. Okay, okay. Whoa. Smooth this out. Alright, deeper. And then we're going to set markers all over this area over here and this area over here. Alright, that looks nice. I don't want to see the ground here. I don't want to see anything right there. Down. Alright. I am not very unhappy with this. She needs a little bit smooth out because it looks very polygon-like. Okay. This doesn't look bad. Alright, now let's do the rest of the... Actually, wait. Before we do the rest of the ride, let's see how this stall works out. Because I'm very worried to see how this will work out. Alright, and also, let's just cut the terrain out right here, because that tunnel does not work very well. Alright, there we go. I did not mean to grab you. I am so sorry. Let's fix that. And then we'll just make it look really smooth. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, apply smooth in the whole terrain. I don't want to press that button because I want my computer to live. Alright, I think that'll work. I'll figure out the supports later. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a stall on a modern Vekoma. So that might be just user error. Okay, then I'm just gonna get rid of this stall completely because that is disgusting looking. So instead, we'll just make this a really big, let's make this into a barrel roll, basically. So let's go right view. Okay, I can't do that. I'm gonna do it from perspective. This is not, I'm gonna have to reshape this so it actually looks like a proper, like, Vekoma roll. Because their rolls are very distinct. They're very round, they're very, like, circular. Okay, let's just detach this real quick. Just so I can actually work with this and make it a roll. Because I don't know what this is. Why is it? Okay. Let me go into track to see if I can fix this. Fix this? Fix this. Doesn't look very rounded. Hmm. Issues. Okay, this, I need to put more vertices on this. Okay, I cannot do it from this angle, so we're just gonna forget the whole roll thing. We're just gonna connect this at the end. We're just gonna make a really tight, like a almost inversion. So let's just make it. Oh. I'm having a hard time building this thing. Did not think this out very good. Alright, that looks decent. I think I don't have to do, because I did not plan this out very good. So I'm just going to have to roll with the punches here. I was not talking for a while because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. It's not, I'm going to have to smooth that out because it's not very smooth, but still. Gotta trust that this thing knows what it's doing. I mean, it's a computer program, to be fair. All right. We'll see how that turns out. I'm curious to see how like the G's look from the back of it, but I guess I'll do that at the end when I'm done with the ride. This view looks great. I'm serious. It's like very thin. Nah, I forgot about that. Something like that. All right, let's see how this works in the seats. Let's maybe make that drop a little bit less right there, because 3 G's on a freaking that's insane. So let's like make it angled down more. So let's not make it like a hump like I originally wanted to do. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's have it, once it gets out of here, we'll do an actual inversion. So let's just go into the top angle. Let's make it do a roll this way. And then we'll just modify that. Okay, first of all, let's just bring this all down because that's way too high. Alright, so let's 0 it. Where did we have it back here at? -14, so we'll have it, excuse me, -14 here as well. And then we'll start shaping it. So let's go like this. Let's get a basic shape, and let's first of all make this actually go upside down. 180. Whoa, what the? Alright, let's make it more like angled this way. Because if you watch a video like Siren's Curse or Circuit Breaker, then you know that they look kind of like this. Alright, let's go into the track perspective so you can actually get a more accurate view. I think that looks pretty decent. Let's make it more correct by having the... Alright, I think if we go on track, that'll be easier to do. Excuse me. There we go. That actually looks really good. Okay, it's a little bumpy, but it can be fixed. Let's just have the thing turn around like so, just so we have some room to work with here, so when we debump it, it doesn't break it. Alright, that should be good. Okay, this to this is a little bit bumpy, so we'll just debump that. And then we'll just turn it like so. So if I do that, oh dear. And then here we'll put it at 45 as well. Not 45 exactly, but we'll make it like so. Just so we can get it to do what we need it to do, so it doesn't look disgusting. I'm having a very weird time trying to describe it. I'm just like, we do this so it doesn't look bad. We do this so it doesn't look bad. We do this so it doesn't look bad. Alright. Alright, that actually looks really good. And now we're just gonna debump this last bit here, because that's kind of weird. Yeah, that does its job. It's not very circular. Actually, let's just not debump this, and then we'll fix it on our own by making it go further down. And then we'll debump it like this. Now the track is actually geared towards this kind of outwards turn. So that's nice. And then we'll just dig into the ground a little bit just so people don't hit their heads everywhere. Alright, that does not look bad at all. Wow. Alright, so let's roll with that. Then we'll have it like go kind of around here, then finally circle back, because this is a very weird, it's like a very weird looking thing. Okay, I think I have an idea for this. I have an idea. Let's just see how this looks really quick going into this. Alright, so let's do the thing. fix that inside of the tunnel, because that's a little janky. And let's just put some supports on this that actually looks decent. That's not a double. Oh, it's a suspended. No, I don't want that. I want this. There we go. That looks better. Oh, why is it facing that way? Put it like that. Okay, that looks better. I don't know why it's so far out, though. I can just atomize it and fix it. That looks nicer. Alright, let me make this further down just so it doesn't look like that. There we go, looks nicer. And then we'll have the supports for the inversion right here, the roll. I keep calling it a roll. It's a corkscrew. Well, not a perfect corkscrew, so I don't know if it's counted as a calling it a corkscrew. So I'll just continue saying roll. Like a Thanksgiving roll, because Thanksgiving is coming up. Happy Thanksgivings, y'all. Let me know what y'all's favorite food is on Thanksgiving. Mine is pumpkin pie and cinnamon rolls. I also really like me some really nice, really good, really turkey. That was a lot of release. Now you can make your own like custom looking supports, but I'm just using prefabs because I don't care about the supports. I care about the layout. See what that looks like when I unfreeze it, or when I freeze it. Why does that look crisscross like that? I don't know. Alright, that looks kind of like, looks kind of like a legitimate Vekoma. So let's just build another hill right here. And then have a turn, go over that, and then, yep. And this is just a rough outline. I'll fix it up later. Can I make this go like, I think if this is gonna be really tight, so we're gonna do like this, and then we'll have it like do the opposite on the other side, just so it kind of gives you that huge whip. Okay, that looks really nice. It's gonna be a really exciting pop of airtime right here, my goodness. Okay, I need to make that wider because that's not going to be a very comfortable experience. And then we'll just dig into the earth here, unless you want to make a really long tunnel. Alright, we'll make this kind of like a bit where you like go a little up and then you go a little down. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then we're just gonna make some more hills, and then we'll come into the breaks, I think, pretty soon. Alright, we'll just test this out so far and see how it looks. Well, actually, let me put these, not the restraints, let's put these supports on here. Supports, add prefab. And then we'll start on these supports. That's probably good. Alright, and then we'll just freeze it and see how this looks. This is a very weird looking roller coaster, but I'm here for it. I'm here for all things weird, like myself. If you're in the audience, are you in my audience and you're weird? Hi, we're just like each other. Yay. Whoa, what the heck happened here? That's not the right restraint. Not the restraint support. Jeez, I keep saying restraint. Right, that looks good now. Then, yep, okay. File, leave editor. Yes. Play. F4. Manual. Full menu. again, just without all that stuff. This is actually looking really nice. I'm actually really enjoying this. Okay, this looks really nice. Let's see how it looks like from the outside. This is just for me, though. And then we'll just finish this off with some more hills, maybe another helix, because it's working out really nice. But I want to straighten this out. It's not a series of vertices. What vertice am I missing? What? I don't understand. Can always do it from this angle. There we go. Alright, that works. I've been working on this for so long. It's been, let me see here, an hour and a half. This would have taken me a lot longer if I was trying to make this good, but I'm just trying to make it decent. Doing the brakes here. Yep, I can work with this. If I do that, okay. Alright, that'll work, I think. And let me make sure that these have transports. They don't. So let me fix that real quick. No, not 3. My goodness. 0.3. 8. 0.3. And then let's just make sure we have all the style we need. Alright, and then let's just put the supports on this, and then we are done. This has been an hour of your time, people. Actually, probably a little bit more than that. Alrighty then, we are finished with this. It's a little bit short, but I think I like it. I don't really have a name for this, so I'm gonna let you guys name it in the comments. Just be like, you know, hey, I think it should be called this. And I'll just let you know on the community post whether I change it to that name or whatever. I'll make this one like a lighter color. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Trains, let's take that back. And then train 2. And train 3, we'll make it. Oh, excuse me. We'll make it like a nice blue like this. We'll see how that goes. That looks really weird. Let's actually change it from being white to being black. Then that should be it, and then we can just test it and see how it goes. That's nice. Alright. And now we don't have to do the stupid thing. We just need to test it out. So that needs to be changed to be a quicker break. But other than that, we're good. Alright, well, this has been Building a Roller Coaster with ya boy. I'm gonna edit this video now, and I'm gonna go get a name for this roller coaster. So, yep. See y'all later. Goodbye.